Hey you guys, it's your girl Tina. I want to go ahead and shout out B-Fact. She's one of the first ones to hit me up on Twitter about Erykah Badu, honey. She went in last night on social media. So what went down last night is that basically Erykah Badu was talking about an article where it's ruled that girls at a particular high school need to wear their skirts at a particular length, so that way it doesn't cause issues between like the young students and the male teachers. And Erykah Badu agreed with this, and so she sent out the following tweets. It's a lot of tweets. I want you guys to go ahead and check out what she had to say. And I'm also going to show you guys some of the responses that she received in regards to her tweets. Check this out, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary. All right, so you guys just saw what Erykah Badu had to say and then what people were saying in response to her. And since then, this story has gone viral from Twitter onto social media. Even The Root, which is a black website, kind of went on Erykah Badu as well, stating that she only feels this way because she considers R. Kelly a brother. And a lot of folks are upset and saying that she's making excuses for men. And why are men not taught to control themselves? Why is she blaming the young girls? And this is why I hate today's society, because people pick and choose what they want to agree with. People pick and choose what offends them. You know, instead of just seeing what points people are trying to make, folks want to automatically get in their feelings. Now, I agree with a lot of Erykah's points. I do agree that a lot of the clothing that a lot of girls have are more scantily clad. I don't have daughters, but to my friends who have daughters, what I've noticed, even with the little girls who are like 5, 6, 7, 8, Their shorts are short. They look like little underwear shorts. When we were growing up, our shorts stopped at the knees. When you had shorts for little girls, they stopped at the knees. Most shorts now for little girls stop at their thighs, stop at their butt. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go get my son from school, I'm like, what the hell are these kids wearing? When I go get my son from school, I'm always shocked by how some of these young girls are dressed because their shorts are so short. It literally looks like underwear. And a lot of these schools don't have control of how these kids dress anymore unless you want to send them to like a private school. But in most public schools, a lot of these kids just wear what they want to wear. Now, I do understand what she's trying to say when she's saying that, once a girl gets to a certain age, childbearing age, hormones and things exude out of them, and that can cause men to be more attracted to them, especially if they're not aware of how old the girls are, because you have a lot of girls out here who look a lot older. But with that being said, the big difference between a guy seeing a girl walking down the street thinking, well, damn, she looks nice in that skirt, and not knowing what her age is, but admiring her, going up to go holler at her. But once she tells that guy that she's 16 and he's a grown-ass man, he needs to fall back. Now, what kind of bothered me with this statement is if it's a teacher, to me, there's no excuse. You know how old these kids are because you're a teacher at that school. So regardless of what hormones are coming out of her body and what she's exuding, you need to control your damn sexual urges, okay? You have no business even fantasizing or looking at that young girl in that particular type of way when you're in that field and you're working with young children. So with that sentence, I feel like Erykah Badu should have definitely elaborated more and made it clear the difference of what she was trying to say, as opposed to making it seem like, well, it's just to be expected. Guys are just going to be attracted to a woman who's of a childbearing age, regardless of her age. And I don't think that's what she meant. I just felt like, you can only write so much in 140 characters. She should have really made sure that point was clear, because that's the part that bothers a lot of people, because they feel like she's making excuses for girls to be sexually exploited by older men, especially teachers. So this topic is very sensitive and people act so blind and oblivious to it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, women need to be taught to act like women and carry themselves with class, not try to make themselves seem older than what they are. And in the same breath, young men need to be taught to carry themselves with class and respect their private parts, and not to be out here just slinging dick everywhere and trying to have sex with everything that moves, because we all know all sex is not worth it. And if you have sex with the wrong girl and she's the wrong age and your ass gets towed on or something happens and you get caught, you can be living with that sex offender profile for the rest of your life, and you can end up doing big time in prison for the rest of your life.
Our lifestyle, it doesn't fit how we raised our kids.
Even the girl's mother appeared in court, testifying that she didn't want Zach labeled as a sex offender because, quote, he's really not. We also obtained this letter that the girl in question gave Zach's family. I'm sorry I didn't tell you my age, she writes. It kills me every day knowing you are going through hell, and I'm not. I want to be in trouble, and not you.
Did it ever enter your mind at any time that she could be underage?
No, not at all.
And was the sex consensual?
Yeah.
But even if the girl admits she lied about her age and the sex was consensual, as she did in court, it's not a defense in the eye of current sex offender laws. And that's why the judge and prosecutor in Zach's case didn't let him off the hook.
So I think a lot of people need to be very, very mindful that regardless of how grown a girl looks, regardless if she's a childbearing age, if your ass is a certain age, you need to fall the hell back and wait for that girl to be legal, okay? And sadly, in the same breath, we have a lot of young girls and a lot of young boys who want to be much older than what they are. And a lot of that, you have to blame the media on that. You know what I'm saying? We constantly force it down kids' throats that if you're not having sex, if you're not wearing this, if you don't look like Kylie Jenner, if you're not getting breast implants, if you're not doing whatever the media is trying to push out there, then you're not worthy of being a good person. Then you're not worthy of being popular. You're not worthy of being loved. And that's where the parents come in. And that's why as a parent, you have to talk to your your kids and let them know that the shit that the media is putting out there is not true. You don't have to be dressed overtly sexual. You don't have to be dressed over the top to get attention, because a lot of times when you dress like that, you get more or less negative attention and not genuine attention, as if you were dressed better. But again, we live in a society where we sit here and we praise thoughts all day, every day, on Instagram, on television. A lot of these girls are no longer looking toward Erykah Badu or Michelle Obama. Their new role models are Kim Kardashian, Amber Rose, Black China, any of the girls from the Love and Hip Hop series. This is who a lot of these young girls are looking at. This is who a lot of these young girls are trying to emulate. So until society shifts and stop praising thought and thought-like behavior, you're gonna have girls dressing older. You're gonna have girls thinking that's the way to carry themselves. And you're gonna have young boys thinking that that's how they should treat women, like how Stevie J treats women and how Scrap De Leon and Little Scrappy treat women, and Dirty Feet Pete. Like, these are the role models that these kids are looking up to. And that's why I always say it's very important for the parents to be there and to basically reiterate positive vibes and positive energy and let your kids know the difference. You know what I'm saying? Let them know the difference between entertainment and reality. Yes, Ariana Grande can dress like a little, preteen thought because she's an entertainer. But in my house, when you're 13, 14, you're not going to be out there dressed like Ariana Grande. You know what I'm saying? Rihanna can dress like that because she's an entertainer. She's Rihanna. Amber Rose can sit there and fucking twerk her cheeks all day, every day on Instagram. Why? Because she's an entertainer. They're not going to be on Instagram doing no shit like that. So at the end of the day, it's on the parents. But I just get so tired of this whole social media, social justice warrior mentality that people can't have their opinions without being ripped apart and without folks getting so far in their feelings, as opposed to really trying to decipher and see what Erykah Badu is saying. They just want to attack her. And then I also understand some folks saying that she has no room to talk because she has all these kids by different men and she's stripped and she took off all her clothes when she did that window seat video.
Window Seat by Erykah Badu, who strips naked while walking through the plaza, then falls to the ground as if she'd been shot, all in broad daylight, with shocked locals and tourists looking on. Badu twittered to her fans, "There were children there. I prayed they wouldn't be traumatized." She said the video was an attempt to protest a term called groupthink, in which a person is afraid to express themselves for fear of being ostracized by the wider public, a fear she's clearly trying to conquer.
So I understand some folks feeling some type of way about the messenger, but at the end of the day, I don't think there was anything too wrong with the message, except for the part that she needed to really elaborate and let it be known that I don't care for girls of childbearing age. It's not up to some grown-ass man to decide to try and get with her just because she's of a childbearing age, okay? So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation concerning Erykah Badu and folks going off on her about her opinions on Twitter. So go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.